So after relationships have been established and kids begin to trust each other and we start feeling like a family, we talk about our classroom and what our classroom needs to run smoothly. And we start listing some jobs, like what are some things kids can take over in the classroom for me? Um, and these are some things that they came up with this year. Matthew says the pledging gets us started every single morning at 8:25. He says, "Is your lunch picked? Get ready for the pledge." We've got kids who submit our lunch count and our attendance roll. We've got kids who keep our learning commons neat and clean. We've got kids who deliver things to the office for us. We have phone greeters. We have kids who deliver our library books. Um, We've got people who clean up and pass out mail. So they brainstorm jobs that we need and then they volunteer to do it. And we do that, once a month, and they can resign from a job and they can choose another one. We also want them then to carry that leadership into teamwork and group work. So once a month, we have classroom meetings where we really focus on leadership skills and social skills. And some of those skills that we've, worked on this year are being assertive, empathetic, managing conflict, being a good active listener, and participating equally. In addition to all of those, we talk about what it looks like to be an active leader and a passive leader. And, we all know the active leader. The active leader is, directing and telling people, what we need to do and what we need to change. But we also have passive leaders, and those are the people who follow the direction of the active leader and are a good role model. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're demonstrating it. They're being respectful and they're encouraging other people to keep doing it. And we talk about how both leaders are important in the classroom. So for the active leader, sometimes we needed a strategy for them to get the attention of everybody so they could direct something in a way that they know needed to be directed. So they say they'll just interrupt. And so Paul Solaris will tell you to give students the responsibility and the power to interrupt class by saying, "Give me 5." So basically what happens is if the kids will say, "Give me 5," the rest of the class will stop, give them their eyes, stop talking, listen, their hands and feet are quiet, and they'll start thinking about what the person who is actively leading is saying. And then, once we have the skills, we start practicing with some team building. And, the Marshmallow Challenge is always a favorite. There's a lot of resources on the internet you can look up for that. I've got some videos attached. Cup stacking is also a favorite of the kiddos in my classroom. And probably the most challenging is the helium stick. And this one you need an entire class works together to lower a tent pole from their waist to the floor. And it's a lot harder than it looks. But you'll see I have a little video clip here and you can see how the kids are starting to practice active leadership and passive leadership. The active leaders are kind of giving ideas and the passive leaders are listening to the ideas and trying them and encouraging other people to do the same.
If we all count like to 1, 2, and 3 and like slowly go down, so then like that last time that side was down and this side was up.
Yeah.
So
like 1 and then go a little.
Okay, but
yeah,
we
and
should
go a
have
little.
some. Give me 5. Someone in the middle, like Jordan or Lily, should count down because they're in the middle, and it makes and then both.
So after relationships have been established and the kids trust each other, and you've introduced some leadership skills and some social skills, and you've practiced them with some team building skills, then I like to start implementing some collaborative procedures and routines. And the first one I start with is turn and talk. And I think a lot of us are familiar with turn and talk, but it's a basic face-to-face, knee-to-knee, high-five, greet each other, rock, paper, scissors to see who starts a conversation, and then take turns sharing and asking questions. And when you're done, you face the front and we'll kind of talk about it, whole group. Another of my favorites is math feedback groups. I don't correct math. I don't mark anything wrong or grade it. I just highlight an incorrect answer or I highlight the part that's incorrect. Then the students the next day will meet with their feedback groups. And if a student has something highlighted and they don't understand why it's highlighted, there's enough trust that they can just say, "I have number 3 wrong. I don't understand what I did wrong." Somebody who has that problem right would say, I got that right. I understand it. I can teach you. So we have this beautiful peer collaboration happening where kids who don't understand are being taught by kids who do understand, and kids who do understand it are enriched to a whole new level by teaching it. It works wonderful. We do it about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll share whole group. What are some things that a lot of people are struggling with, and we'll kind of go over that together. Once we can collaborate inside, our classroom with projects. We like to take it outside to grade level projects, and we do some project-based learning. We did a space project, and as a accumulating event, they shot off rockets. When they're able to kind of collaborate within the classroom and school, we can take it outside of our school, and we like to collaborate through Twitter chats and Skype chats. The kids prefer Skype to Twitter, but we do use both Twitter and Skype to talk about books. We share with them, we play games with other people, we learn about cultures, we ask experts. Okay. We build relationships through social media. My favorite part of collaborating outside our classroom is collaborating with authors. They give a whole new insight into the book and into writer's craft. So kids have the opportunity to learn to read through the person who wrote the book, and it is so empowering. And the last thing I'd like to talk about is competition. We know competition is important in the world, and we know that that there is a lot of competition, but I love Paul Solaris's quote here. Children need to learn the importance and value of personal drive, but not at the expense of others in the classroom. Instead of focusing on winning, focus in on what it means to try one's hardest and how to bring peers along for the ride. So we talk a lot about internal competition, like how can I do better next time? Where can I make changes in order to make it better? And how can I help my peers do better? Some ways we do group collab or competition is we like to participate in mystery Skypes. We do breakout EDU sessions. We did not do well with our breakouts at the beginning of the year. We are getting much better at that. There's competitions online. Some Dog would be one of them. And book tournaments, March Madness, where we read together to figure out, what we think the best book is for the year. They also came up with a Elba challenge. So this group competition is they're reading Elba books to earn enough tape to duct tape Mrs. Parkinson to the wall. So that was their idea. I think it was an awesome idea. And I'll wrap it up with this, is what's the goal? Student-led classroom. The goal is to create successful independent thinkers who take risks, they collaborate with others, and own their education.